The misogyny that is deeply rooted in our culture and our tradition is usually masked by reminiscing the past today. And so many men claim that relationships would work, marriage as an institution would work if we, the ladies of today, were more like our mothers and our grandmothers. Now, I had a very eye-opening conversation with an Uber driver the other day, and it turns out it's not that our culture worked. It's not that the systems from back then respected our women or respected these institutions and kept our women provided for and secure. In fact, it was worse than it is today, and people thought it was better. Welcome to episode 2, official episode 2 of the House Girlfriend podcast. Today, we are talking about the Luya and the Luo community, their traditions, and why they've been so misogynistic. If you're Kenyan, I'm sure you remember there's one time that an influencer came online and showed a picture of their son, a picture with the son, and people started coming at her, telling her that she either needs to stop cheating or she needs to talk to her man so he can stop cheating because it is evident from the health state of the child. This, in the Luya and the Luo community, is called Tsichira. Kama nasema vibaya, please mnikosoe, mimi ni Mkikuyu. But apparently, this Tsichira thing is believed and was believed, especially back in the day, it was believed that if you are married and you step outside of your marriage, if you go back home, lazima uoge kabla ushike mtoto wako. And if you do not do that, then you're going to pass the Tsichira to the child, na mtoto atagonjeka, akondeane, ang'oke nywele, and eventually they might lose their lives. Now, this whole thing, I know right now people say that, it worked and infidelity was very little back then. Nope. If Tsichira really worked, why doesn't anyone die from Tsichira anymore? Because Tsichira, one, was confirmation bias. Second, and I know many of you will want to come and hate me for it, but even the men from these communities have told me this. I have done so much research before I come and tell you this. Even the men from these communities tell me, no, Tsichira haijaiua mtu. In fact, they believe that it must have been AIDS that was killing people back then. But because modern medicine wasn't what it is today, and there was so much stigma around it, it was called Tsichira. And people were dying left, right, and center, and it was claimed that they're dying from infidelity. No, that's one thing. The men from this community actually believe that the tradition ya Tsichira ilikuwa eti watu wenye walitengeneza hiyo mila. They must have known that when a woman has just given birth to a child, they take at least 3 months without sexual intercourse because there's still remnants coming out, there's still healing and all that. And during this time, most likely, mwanamume ata step outside of the marriage, he is going to cheat. So, hii mambo ya Tsichira, it was a consolation to the women that usijali. Hata akitoka huko nje, there are consequences for it. And for the men, it was to bring about respect and common human decency, such that hata kama umeenda umeokota kinembe mahali pengine, uni bibi yako kuwa na heshima ya before uingie kwa nyumba ushike mtoto, oga. Do you think that once a man has slept outside and he comes home and he showers, that removes the infections? It doesn't. Does it remove the HIV/AIDS if he's contracted it? No. Ilikuwa tu ndo ili heshima idumu. But most importantly, for the women to believe that there is divine justice, so they do not take matters into their own hands. Yeah. Na wanawake walikuwa wanaambia wanaume zao, wewe endelea kulala huko nje, atakayeumia ni mtoto wako. Our bodies were objectified. We lacked bodily autonomy like never before. I've heard stories that once you had gone for a funeral ceremony and now it's time to go back to your homes, they would start from the eldest in the family, the eldest brother, the eldest man, and he has to go home and sleep with the wife for the rest to also go home and do the same. If it is the beginning of the planting season, before you go out to sow seeds into the ground, ulale na bibi yako, whether she wants it or not. Can you imagine that? When I talk about the nature of men and how most times when they are not sexually satisfied, anything is game, including animals, including our children. Most these men like to come on my page and claim I am a Black American wannabe and that these things do not affect us and they only affect Western women. But the fact of the matter is these things have been happening even ukombali kwa tradition. It's just that our women then did not have the power and the courage to speak up as we do today. Some did, and they paid a heavy price for it. And this is why so many women back then were afraid to carve out their own path. Now, let us go back to the nature of men. Do you think ilikuwa bure that traditions used to stipulate that your husband, once he's married you, akiona mamako kwa barabara anafaa akwepe? And the same to you and your father-in-law. Even refusing them to enter the same spaces, to be close, to share greetings, to even shake hands. Why do you think that is? Ilikuwa ndo ili heshima idumu, because they know that given the right circumstances, this is a ticking time bomb. That was the difference between then and today. Right now, with pages like mine, you learn exactly what you're dealing with. This is the nature of men. Anyone is game. If it's not you, it could be your mother, it could be your daughter, it could be your grandmother. They like to come on here and pit us against each other based on age and or expiry dates, which is a story for another day. But the point of the matter is our parents did not have it better. Our mothers, our grandmothers were silenced because back then there were very few options for a woman. It was either you be cast out as unmarried or you agree to be married and live in the shadow of your husband. Today, we are educated such that if there are women who are marrying a man for provision and the man is a businessman, you as a girl have the same skill set to go open up a business and become the businessman and have that money such that you do not have to open your knees for someone to pay your bills. Sister girls, msidanganywe huko nje eti our parents had it better. Eti, oh, just if you respected men, if you did. No. There has been misogyny in our traditions, in religion, and now more than ever. It did not just come with colonization. And this is why you need to equip yourself. I know that women like to look at the world how we want it, and we like to see potential. This is why some of us stay in toxic relationships, some of us stay in toxic situations, some of us take so long before we do the right thing, because you're obsessed with how things are supposed to be. But you need to look at how things are right now. The nature of these people is wide and clear, in the open. For you to come on and say, oh, I do not want to believe the propaganda that all men are bad. I'm gonna get married one day to my dream partner. Have you ever heard a man talking of a dream partner? All this love, marriage, dream partner, soulmate nonsense, it was created for your labor as a woman. And because you're a smart woman, it has to come through, ooh, companionship, ooh, we gotta reproduce, you know? Did you enjoy the episode? Leave us your opinion in the comments. And if you're from the communities I've mentioned, more points for you. We want to know everything your tradition is all about. See you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye.